There's a quiet strength that often goes unnoticed, a kind of power that doesn't need to shout or prove itself in noisy gatherings or crowded places. And that strength belongs to those who prefer to stay at home. Many people look at homebodies as if they are missing out on life, as if staying within four walls means they are weak or afraid of the outside world. But the truth is very different. Those who choose the calmness of their home are not running away from the world. They are masters of their own inner world. They have discovered something that many people who are constantly rushing outside have not: the ability to be still, to listen to their own thoughts, to build resilience not by escaping discomfort, but by sitting with it, understanding it, and eventually turning it into wisdom. Think about it. When you stay at home, you are not bombarded by the endless distractions and noise that drains so many people every single day. Instead, you face yourself, your silence, your emotions, and that requires more courage than most people realize. It is easy to lose yourself in the hustle of the outside world, in constant chatter and endless schedules. But it takes real inner strength to be comfortable in your own company. Older people, especially, know this better than anyone. They have lived enough years to understand that peace doesn't come from running faster or doing more. It comes from slowing down and embracing the quietness of life. This inner strength is the first truth about people who prefer to stay at home. They are stronger than you think because they are at peace with themselves. They do not fear being alone. They do not fear silence. And in that silence, they find clarity, balance, and the kind of emotional stability that so many people spend their whole lives chasing in the outside world. And with that inner strength comes another beautiful truth. Those who stay at home often build stronger emotional worlds than anyone else. When life slows down, the heart has space to open wider, and the bonds of love and memory become richer. Home is not just a physical place. It is an emotional sanctuary. People who spend more time at home often cultivate deeper relationships with their family, with the neighbors who stop by, and most importantly, with themselves. They notice the little things, the laughter around the dinner table, the warmth of sunlight through the window, the sound of rain tapping on the roof. These small details may seem ordinary, but in reality, they're the treasures of life, and homebodies know how to collect them with care. For older people especially, staying home allows them to reconnect with old photographs, letters, and memories that hold the story of their lives. They relive moments. They pass on stories to younger generations, and they preserve emotions that would otherwise be lost in the noise of constant busyness. Their emotional world becomes stronger because it is nurtured by reflection, by love, by gratitude. While the outside world often teaches people to move on quickly and forget, home teaches the opposite. It teaches remembering, cherishing, holding on to what truly matters. This is the second truth. Those who prefer to stay at home are not emotionally weak or isolated. They are emotionally resilient because they know how to draw strength from love, from memories, and from the simple but profound moments of everyday life. Together, these two truths reveal something powerful. Staying at home is not about avoiding the world, but about discovering the deeper layers of strength and emotion that many people miss in their restless search for meaning. Another truth about those who prefer to stay at home is that they often become the silent guardians of tradition, memory, and identity. While the outside world is busy chasing the latest trends, changing with every passing season, homebodies are the ones who keep the roots alive. They are the protectors of family recipes that have been passed down for generations, the keepers of stories that would otherwise fade, and the quiet historians of their families and communities. When you step into the home of someone who has chosen a life of simplicity, you don't just find walls and furniture. You find a living museum of heritage. The smell of a dish cooked the same way a grandmother made it, the framed photographs of ancestors who shaped the family, the traditions of festivals celebrated year after year. All of these are preserved because someone cared enough to stay close to home and carry them forward. For older people especially, this role becomes even more powerful. They know that they are not just living for themselves. They are holding together the threads of a story that stretches far beyond them. Their home becomes a lighthouse where children and grandchildren can always return to find their identity, their culture, and their roots. It takes strength to do this, because in a fast-moving world that is always looking forward, it is a homebody who looks back, who remembers, and who teaches others that the past is not something to be thrown away, but something to be honored. Alongside this, there's another layer of strength that people often overlook. Those who stay at home are also masters of self-reliance. To outsiders, it may look as if they're dependent or limited, but the truth is often the opposite. People who live much of their lives at home learn to do things with their own hands, to create joy out of simplicity, to survive with what they have instead of constantly reaching outward for more. Think about the older generations who grew up making their own clothes, cooking meals from scratch, repairing broken objects, and growing food in their gardens. That spirit of independence never leaves them. Even in today's modern world, where everything can be bought with a click, those who prefer staying home still know how to find satisfaction in simple tasks. Cooking a meal that nourishes a family, fixing something instead of throwing it away, finding entertainment in a book, a craft, or a hobby instead of chasing expensive thrills. This self-reliance is not just about survival. It is about dignity. It is about proving that happiness does not have to be borrowed from the outside world, that a person can be content, strong, and capable within the walls of their own home. And when life throws challenges their way, this resilience shines brighter than ever. They know how to adapt, how to endure, and how to keep going without losing themselves in the chaos of the outside world. That is the fourth truth about homebodies. They are not dependent, but quietly powerful, capable of standing on their own 2 feet, and often much stronger than those who cannot survive a single day without the noise of others. There is also a hidden beauty in the way people who prefer to stay at home unlock creativity that the outside world often overlooks. When life is not rushing at full speed, when every day is not filled with endless distractions, the mind has room to breathe, and in that space, imagination begins to bloom. Many of the greatest thinkers, writers, and artists in history found their brilliance not in busy streets or crowded gatherings, but in the stillness of home. The homebody, especially in later years, often discovers talents that were sleeping quietly for decades, waiting for time and peace to bring them alive. A person who once thought they had no gift for art may suddenly pick up a brush and find beauty flowing onto canvas. Another may open an old notebook and begin to write poems, stories, or reflections that carry the wisdom of a lifetime. Hobbies that may have been forgotten during youth, like knitting, sewing, gardening, music, suddenly return and become not only pastimes, but sources of joy, healing, and creativity. Think of Grandma Moses, who began painting at the age of 78 and went on to inspire millions with her work. That is what happens when the noise of the world is turned down and the silence of home is embraced. Creativity finds its voice. Homebodies may appear quiet on the outside, but within their walls, they are often building whole worlds of imagination and self-expression. This is the fifth truth. Staying home doesn't limit you. It frees you, giving your heart and mind the space to create something new, something lasting, and something deeply personal. And beyond creativity lies perhaps the most powerful truth of all. Those who choose to stay at home often find a deeper peace and contentment than most people ever experience. The outside world teaches us that strength is loud, that success is about being seen, and that happiness must always be chased. But homebodies prove that none of this is true. Real strength is calm. Real success is inner peace. And true happiness can be found in the simplest of moments. A quiet morning with a cup of tea, the rhythm of daily routines, the comfort of a favorite chair by the window, the soft laughter of grandchildren visiting. These are not small things. They are everything. People who prefer to stay home learn the art of gratitude, the practice of noticing beauty in the ordinary, and the wisdom of slowing down. For older people, this is especially powerful, because peace becomes the greatest treasure of all. Instead of fighting the rush of the world, they embrace the serenity of life. And in doing so, they often radiate a calm strength that others instinctively look up to. This is the sixth truth. Homebodies are not missing out. They are mastering the hardest lesson of all, being content with themselves. And that contentment is not weakness, but the greatest form of power, for it is something no one can take away.